Yeah.
வந்துட்டீங்களா ப்ரோ? ப்ரோ அந்த அட்டெண்டன்ஸ் மட்டும் கொஞ்சம் செக் பண்ணிட்டு சரிக்கா அவங்க வந்துட்டாங்கன்னா சொல்லுங்க.
Shreya Agarwal வந்துட்டா. இதை மட்டும் சொல்லிடுறேன்.
யூடியூப் சப்ஸ்கிரைப்
அதை மட்டும் சொல்லிடு. யூடியூப் some issue.
யாருக்கு
இதுல
மேல வராங்க.
ம் hello. So yeah, I have seen it. So, but the thing is that I have received papers.
வாட்ஸ்அப் என்ட்ரி பண்ணியாச்சுதான்.
Yeah. Okay. So fine. Yeah. Got it. Okay. Yeah, okay. So fine. I just share with that and confirm you by so yeah, sure, definitely. Yeah.
Good morning, all. I'm your host for this session. Welcome to our career development program as personal. Sorry for the interruption. There was a technical issue. Good morning, all. I'm your host for this session. Welcome to our career development program on personal interview organized by Institute for Engineering Research and Publication. Throughout the next hour, we'll be hearing from an expert in the field who will be sharing his knowledge and insights with us. She'll also be answering some of your questions at the end of the session. So please feel free to submit your questions using the Q&A function at any time during the presentation. Before we begin, let us give you a brief introduction about IFERP, Institute for Engineering Research and Publication, which is IFERP, is a professional association on its way to digitize innovation processes through a professional networking services and thus providing an integrated virtual scientific community, mutual engagement, exploring potential of researchers, creating a cooperative and collaborative academic environment. IFERP supports the professional growth of its members by providing opportunities for professional networking, lifelong learning, and career development by organizing scientific conferences and events, faculty development programs, skill development programs, workshops, webinars, youth empowerment programs, book chapters, project seed fundings, project competitions, student chapters, special interest communities, research publications, and guidance, student, professional, and institutional membership, industry, institute interaction, etc. Now, coming to the session, before inviting our speaker of the session, Ms. Sarika Tulsiani, to take the spotlight, I would like to give an introduction about her and her expertise. Mrs. Sarika Tulsiani completed her graduation in computer engineering in 2012 with distinction. She is a focused and ambitious trainer with around 7 years of work experience in the field of teaching, along with content development and marketing for the MHCET course of time. Have trained around 5,000 plus students for CAT, CET, GMAT, GRE, NMAT, GISS, NET, SNAP, CLAT, IPM, SAT in logical reasoning, data interpretation, and quantitative aptitude. She is also a personal interview trainer and train students for campus placements to crack exams easily. So without further ado, please join me in welcoming Ms. Sarika Tulsiani to take the session. Over to you, ma'am. You can start the session now.
Hi, Yuvraj. Thank you so much. Just give me a second.
Sure, ma'am. You're welcome.
All right. So, just a request, can I get the access to start my camera?
Working on it, ma'am. Just give me a moment.
Yeah. Okay, in the meanwhile, let me start. So, hello everyone. Extremely sorry for the delay, first of all. There was some technical glitch here. So, I would like to understand from you guys, why do you feel that personal interview is conducted in any job or in any college these days? What do you feel is your reason that personal interviews are conducted? Can anybody give me any reason? Why do you feel it is conducted? Anybody, any of the attendees? You can type your answer in the chat box, or you can even unmute and answer. That's fine for me. Anybody? Why do you think personal interviews are important and why they are conducted for any job or for any of your college activities? Anyone? No one? All right, sure. I'll tell you. Why are personal interviews conducted? Okay. Now look at it from two perspectives. Let's try to understand this thing from the interviewer's perspective and from the interviewee's perspective. Now let's say you are the interviewer. Okay, you are the company. You want to recruit someone. Okay, you want to hire someone. Whether it's an IT firm, whether it is anything else. Okay. There are a lot of things beyond the technical information about a candidate which you need to be aware of. First of all, you need to understand whether the candidate is right fit for the role. Not only by the technical skills, but also by the behavioral skills, also by the human skills the person possesses. Okay? So you can understand or you can get to know a lot more about the person when you interact with the person on a one-to-one basis. Okay? You understand whether the person's values align with the values of your company. You understand whether the communication skills, the hard and soft skills the person possesses is important and does it match with your requirements. So that is the reason an interviewer checks a lot of things. He has to tick a lot of boxes before you are hired for the job. Whereas from an interviewee's perspective, if you are about to give an interview, why is personal interview important? Because see, personal interview really helps you to market your skills. See, I understand you might be good at coding. I understand you might be good at communication. But once I have an interaction with you, I get to know you a lot more personally. Okay, so that I can be much more sure of my decision whether I want to select you or no. So in that case, you can market your skills very well. You can understand the job profile very well. You can figure out whether your values, whether your expectations align with the growth of the company or not. Okay, that is a lot of things you also figure out once you have an interview. Also, if you have any queries with respect to the job, with respect to the company, how is the work culture like, how do things work, all those things can be answered in a personal interview. So that is the reason beyond your aptitude tests, your technical tests, a personal interview is sure conducted so that the other person is pretty much confident that yes, this person is the right candidate. And even you will be confident that yes, this company matches my expectations, my growth opportunities, my career opportunities, and it's a good fit and I should go for the company. So that is the reason why personal interviews are conducted. So it's very crucial for you to understand, okay, this is the reason and how am I supposed to tackle it. The moment you understand the reason, you start figuring out how am I supposed to crack the interview. You become much more confident of your answers. Okay, so now let's look at the details. Okay, in the meanwhile, anybody has any question, feel free to ask. Anybody having any question? You can type your questions in the chat box or you can just unmute and ask. Any of the attendees, any question, guys? Vaibhav, Sweta, Swati, Neil, Kavya, any doubts, any queries? Okay. I want it to be an interactive session. Please just don't make it a one-way session. Otherwise, it will become boring for you also and me also. Arpita, Devika, Naresh ji, any doubts? Sure. All right. Moving on further. Okay. What are the types of questions generally you will observe? Okay. Guru, Naresh ji, thank you so much. What are the types of questions generally you will see in your PIs? See, there are 3 types of questions which we have identified, which primarily comprises of a PI. One is your technical questions. Now, considering whatever field you are coming from, whether you're coming from an IT field, whether you're coming from a research field, whether you're coming from marketing field, sales field, depending upon your background, technical questions related to that will definitely be asked. Okay, with respect to IT, whatever languages you've studied, how good are you? So all those technical questions is a must, that is asked. Okay. Next is analytical questions. Analytical questions are tested or are asked to understand how logical you can be. For example, if I tell you I have a rectangular room, how many balls of certain size can fit in a room? Or they'll give you a situation, let's say there are 3 doors and this is a situation, there is a problem which has happened. You get an opportunity to open only one door and figure out that this is the right door. So how do you open it? So these are all analytical questions. They test your analytical skills, your logical skills, your understanding and interpretation skills. How good are you at interpreting? Even if you're not able to answer correctly, but are you able to interpret well? What is your thought process? How do you go about answering? How do you go about solving that question? That is tested in your analytical questions. Okay. And the most important set of questions which are asked are your behavioral questions. So behavioral questions generally account for 60 to 70% of your interview. Because the interview wants to know a lot more about you beyond your resume, beyond your CV. That is the reason behavioral questions comprise of maximum chunk of your interview. Okay. Now, moving on, let's look at the behavioral questions in details, because a lot of people I have seen personally struggle a lot in these kind of questions. So let's tackle one by one each question in details so that you get a complete clarity as to how are you supposed to answer. Okay. The first question anybody asks in an interview is, tell me about yourself. It's a very tricky question. Now, a lot of people feel ki, "Arey, isme kya hai? I'll just, share in my basic information and that's it. That is about myself." But you can, utilize or channelize this question to your benefit quite a bit. How do you do that? Dekho, abhi, see, understand what happens is the interviewer is not going to take only your interview. Let's say a lot of interviews are lined up. Let's say you come after somebody else. So you are the second person in line going to the interview. Now, the interviewer does not have a lot of time to read about you or to know about you. The moment you enter the room, the interviewer picks up your CV or your resume and the person starts reading your CV. In the meanwhile, what is expected from you is, so imagine the person knows nothing about you. He has just started reading your CV. So in the meanwhile, the interviewer reads your CV. He just asks you this question. Okay, tell me about yourself. So let me know something more about you. Introduce yourself. So he will get time to read the CV also. And he will get time to understand also what sort of a person you are, what is your background. So this is a very big opportunity for you guys. Okay? It's a huge opportunity to channelize or to direct the interview as per your requirement. Where do you want the interview to go? You can channelize the interview in that manner. How can you do that? Try to distract the interviewer by telling something which is not very common or which is very unique about you. I'll give you an example how. So let's say, for example, if I say, hello, sir, I am Sarika Tulsiani. I belong to Nasik and I have done my graduation and post-graduation from Nasik. And when I was a kid, I used to help my uncle in a store to grow his sales or to grow his profit by 2x or 3x. Okay, because I was really interested in marketing and sales, and that shows my interest since childhood. Now, this is a very different thing. This is a very unique thing. So the other person obviously will be interested ki, aisa kya kiya? How did you help your uncle to improve the profit? How did you increase the profit by 2x, 3x? What did you do exactly? What did you do in marketing? What were you selling? What was the store all about? Right? So this is a very different thing. So whatever is your USP, whatever you feel, you can answer later on, because all the follow-up questions are going to be based on this only. Okay? So make sure you say something so unique about yourself which is really attractive, and a lot of cross questioning will be done on that. And you'll be able to answer most of your questions. So the interview will get directed to as per your requirement, not as per the interviewer's requirement. Okay. So some important highlights as far as tell me about yourself is concerned. Okay. First, you talk about yourself, you talk about your schooling, then you talk about your graduation, your post-graduation, if you've done any, your prior jobs, if you have any job experience, then your special skills. Let's say you're really good at sales and marketing, or let's say you're good with IT, you're good with some coding language. You can talk about that, and say something really attractive or some USP of yours, which will direct the interview as per your requirement. And a lot of follow-up questions will be asked on that last question, last statement which you're going to say. So make sure, tell me about yourself, whatever is the last statement. Okay? That should be, because what happens is people have a very short memory. So whatever last you have said, primarily I'm listening to that and I'll ask you the next question on that only. So say something really, some important quality of yours or something, some USP of yours, so that the further questions are channelized in that direction. Okay? So make sure you prepare your tell me about yourself really well, and it should be different from other people. Okay? I'm not saying it should be out of the box, but it should be different. It should be customized for you. It shouldn't be used for anybody else. It shouldn't be a common answer, just sab log bolte hain. Okay? It has to be different. Now the next is why. Okay, in the meanwhile, any queries, anybody, feel free to ask. Okay, any queries, anyone, feel free to ask. Okay, sure. Next thing, why this company? Why do you want to join my company? What is so special about my company? Now understand, a lot of people say ki, yeah, I like your company. Yeah, it's a good company. So basically what people do is they don't research. You need to thoroughly research about the company or the college, wherever you're getting into. So the company, the college, why are you so inclined towards joining that company? That's extremely important. Okay. So let's say if you want to join some IT company, let's say you want to join Walmart, or if you want to join Amazon. So what is the USP of Amazon? How do they treat their employees? What is the company culture like? How do they help their employees grow? So probably you can talk about all that, I have some people who are already working in your company, and who, which has really motivated me to join your company, because I have seen the kind of support and the kind of growth your company provides as far as the employees are concerned. The kind of policies you guys have, it's a very employee-friendly policy. So that will really motivate the employees to work very well and also grow in their careers. So what is so special about their company that you want to join their company, right? So you need to highlight some important characteristics of that company, which is not common for others. Okay? So that is what you're supposed to say for why this company. You have to research about it, figure out the USPs and talk about that. Further, the next question is, why do you want to do this job? Why are you interested in this job? So you have to figure out and answer what is the job profile like? Why are you interested in the job profile? Okay, what is the job profile, and how does your personality or probably your qualifications align with the job description? Okay, let's say you're really good with Python, and the requirement, the primary requirement for this job is Python language. So you're really comfortable, you've really aced the language, and now you want to grow in this field only. So that is the reason the profile matches your skills, and that is one of the reasons that you would like to go for this job. Okay, because in this case, what is happening is the interview is trying to check whether you will stay with the company for long or not. Okay, so if you are interested in the job, if you're interested in the profile and it matches your skills, you will definitely stay for long. But if you are not interested, then obviously it will show, and the other person figures out that you might not stay with the company for long. So it is for testing all those skills. Okay. Okay. In the meanwhile, any questions, anyone? Anything you would like to ask? Yes, people, anything. Feel free to ask. Okay. You can unmute, ask, or probably, whatever it is, just let me know. Okay, sure. Moving on. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Very tricky question. Now you'll be like, I'm not very sure about tomorrow also. How do I answer? Where do I see myself in 5 years? So basically, what the other person is trying to do is, the other person is trying to test how ambitious you are. Are you really ambitious? Do you have like a 5-year plan? Have you thought about something for yourself? It is not necessary. Okay? It is not necessary that this plan will be the right plan for you or you will execute this plan 100%. Not necessary. But do you have you thought something about yourself? Do you have like a plan? Okay? Where do you want to grow? Which field do you want to get into? So how ambitious are you? How planned are you? How strategic are you? This is what they are trying to test with your 5-year thing. So that is the reason. Yes, Guru, just 2 minutes. I'll answer that question as well. Yeah. So how ambitious are you with your future? Okay. So that is what they are trying to test. So you can probably give them an outline of this is what I've thought about for myself for the next 5 years. Okay, so that gives the other person a perspective. Okay, this guy has thought something about himself. He's planned something. So he's a strategic guy, right? So that is what is important. And how you can answer this question is probably, sir, I want to be associated with you guys, with your company in the next 5 years so that I become an end-to-end expertise. I generate an end-to-end expertise in this field. Also, I would like to see myself as leading some of the projects in your company and enhance my skills and hence result in the growth of your company. So that shows that you want to become like a leader. You want to manage certain projects. You want to become an expert in that particular field. So this is how you can answer your 5-year thing. Okay? Yes. So Guru is asking, he has a 9 months career gap. How can I compensate for this in an interview for salary negotiation? So Guru, probably in this case, what you can do is, whatever was your salary 9 months ago, you can talk about that, while negotiating. But remember, this is while they have given you an offer. Don't start talking about salary initially. Once you get an offer, that is the time you negotiate. So probably that time you can say that, XYZ was the offer I had with the previous company was something that I was getting paid for. But due to some medical emergency, I couldn't be associated with the organization for long. However, I feel that I have the skills, the qualities, and the potential to grow really well in this field. So I would expect an increment of this percent on my previous salary, right? So you're being genuine, you're being honest that there was some medical problem, there was some emergency, but I have the skills, I have the quality, I have the potential, and I have the, I have the zeal in me to grow and do something good for your company as well. So I would, expect an increment of this much percent. So be polite, be genuine, and be normal. So the other person also feels ki, okay, chalo, there has been a problem. See, the other person is also human only. The people understand ki, acha, problem hua tha, ye hua tha, wo hua tha. Then you can speak about it in a nice way. And, and even if they, let's say, even if they say, we are sorry, we cannot offer you this much, then probably if you feel that you really deserve this increment, you can say that, I'm sorry, sir, but then I'm expecting this much of an increment because, the kind of growth I can bring to your company or the kind of skill set I possess, I feel with this much money or this much increment, I'll be able to perform better and, I'll be able to help you guys grow. So, it's like your requirements are also being met. Plus, they understand that this person might not settle for a lower salary and they can offer you accordingly. Okay. What else? What else? Yeah. Chalo, great. Next is, do you plan for your masters? So whenever you're going for any company-based interview, especially company interviews, they have this problem that, you know, there are a lot of employees who might have plans for their masters. So you have to be very clear, irrespective of whether you're going to do your masters or no. See, that's a personal choice. But if you specify that in an interview, no, you know, I've got plans for masters, but that's after a year or that's after 1.5 years or something like that, it creates a big doubt in the mind of the employer that this person is not going to stay. So there is no point for me in recruiting this person. Because, you know, recruiting a person, training the person is a huge cost. So itna train karo, itna paisa invest karo, and then the person is ultimately going to leave, doesn't make sense. So probably at that point of time, saying a yes would not be the right choice. You can say that, sir, haven't thought about it right now. That's not the plan. Right now, I want to work in the industry. I want to gain experience for a few years, and probably I can think about it later. Okay, so that shows that this guy is unsure of masters. So he does not have short plans. So definitely he will stay back. But if you say, yes, I am planning to do my masters in a year or in 1.5 years, then chances of you getting selected reduce quite a bit because it's very logical. You know why? Okay. Next is, what are your strengths and weaknesses? A very, very crucial topic. Okay. What are your strengths and weaknesses? Can anybody tell me in the chat box, what are your strengths and weaknesses? Can you please type and let me understand what would your answers be for your strengths and weaknesses? Please type, all of you. See, there is no right or wrong answer. I just want to understand how would you answer this question. You can just write a word or two. What are your strengths and weaknesses? All of you. Yes. What are your strengths and weaknesses? Give me 2 strengths and 1 weakness, all of you, quickly. Two strengths and 1 weakness. Quickly, everyone. What are your strengths and weaknesses? Please type in the chat box. Even if you type a couple of words, that's okay for me. So Guru says positive attitude, communication, client relationship building. Great. And what is your weakness? Yes, others, all of you, please type in your strengths and weaknesses so that I understand how are you going to answer this question. Arpita, Devika, Naresh, Karthik, Krishna Mohan, please type your strengths and weaknesses. Two strengths and 1 weakness. Quickly. Vaibhav, Swati, Sushmita. I'm working hard to reduce my weakness to avoid lag in work. Okay, but what is your weakness? What is your weakness, Guru? Dr. Naresh, strengths are defined as character traits or skills that are considered positive. Strengths include knowledge, attributes, skill sets, and talents. See, I am not asking the definition of strength and weakness. I am asking what is your strength and your weakness, right? What do you feel is your strength and what do you feel is your weakness? Yes, others? Sunil, Sindhu, Priyanka, what are your strengths and weaknesses, guys? So like Guru has answered, he has answered positive attitude, communication, client relationship building. That's a very good answer. But then if I say that, when you say you have a positive attitude, you have to associate it with an example. How did you portray your positive attitude? Can you describe a situation which was complex and wherein you showed your, positive attitude? So even if you're talking about your strength or your weakness, make sure, all of you, that you associate it with an example. When and how did you show your quality? Right? Guru, okay, poor negotiation skills. Priyanka, positive nature towards everyone. Read to learn anything easily with patience. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, others also. Yes. Sindhu, Sunil, Sushmita, what are your strengths and weaknesses? Vaibhav, Yashrin. Strength, positive, related, responsibility. Bapre. Okay, great. Okay. So, all right. When you talk about these strengths, growth mindset, Krishna Mohan, and willingness to learn. Weakness is I want to be perfect, so I go extra time. Okay, okay, beautiful, beautiful, great answer. Okay. What else? Weber, strength, team player, positivity. Okay, weakness, emotional. Okay, cool. Yes. Others, Dr. Shyness, time management, sharing responsibilities, self-criticism, teamwork, sensitivity. All right, that's a great self-awareness. Okay. All right. What else? What else? Others? Okay. So these are good answers. So basically, when we talk about strengths and weaknesses, the other person is trying to check how much of self-awareness do you have. Do you know yourself well or not? Because, I have seen people while conducting interviews, they say, when I ask, what is your weakness? They say, I'm perfect. I don't have a weakness. This is a very rude answer, and it also shows that you're not at all self-aware. You have no self-acknowledgement or anything of that sort. Okay? So when you talk about your strengths, like Guru spoke about, like Dr. Naresh spoke about, strengths of positive attitude, like I think even one of you spoke about, even Vaibhav spoke about, team player positivity. That's great. But you have to associate it with an example that how are you positive? How did you become a team player? Can you give an example that you displayed your team player quality? For example, if you ask me, what is your strength? I would say that my strength is that I am very courageous. Now, if you ask how, so I'll be like, I am very courageous because during some point in my life, I had to deal with a lot of mental health issues. And I was on the verge of getting into depression, but I came out of it very strongly. And now I'm a very powerful and a very confident person. That shows that I'm courageous. Now, if you say that you are a team player, so probably you can say that, I have worked with a team of, let's say, 10 people or 12 people. And when you work with a team of 10 to 12 people, communication is very, very important. Team building, being connected to the team is very important for getting your work done. So I was a team player in the sense that I managed the entire team, got the work done within the specified time limit with good accuracy, and the team was also pretty satisfied with it. So, when your team is strong, when you're associated with your team really well, when you get your work done on time, and when all the, assignments, when all your tasks are completed, and nobody holds grudges or something of that sort, that shows that you're really a team player. Okay, you can say, like somebody said, they have a positive attitude. So probably you could describe some crisis situation in your professional life. There was this problem which has happened during my professional career, wherein I kept my positive attitude, I motivated myself and my team, and we got rid of this situation very successfully. So please talk about your positive or your strength and weakness. Talk about your strength, but associate it with an example. How are you that way? Okay, this is very, very important. You can also talk about you are pretty adaptable or you are flexible. So you are okay with the work timings. You are okay with the kind of environment you're working in, with the infra. Sometimes you might not get the necessary infra, or you are okay with the kind of, the support, the kind of services provided to you. And you're flexible with that. You're flexible with your working hours. You don't have this thinking, I have to work for 9 to 5 one day. So this is how you talk about your strength, adaptability, flexibility, team player, positivity, along with some example, please, because I don't know you at all. So in order to know you more, I need to understand some stories of yours which you have gone through so that I can figure you out much more better. Okay, and the chances of you getting selected also increases. Now, when you talk about weakness, okay, like Weber has said, emotional. Somebody has said, self-criticism and all of that. So these are very common types of weaknesses. But when you talk about your weakness, that shows that you are self-aware, that shows that you acknowledge these things about you. But what are you doing to improve that? That is also extremely important. Now, like for example, Dr. Naresh has said that shyness is his weakness. So what are you doing to, overcome that? Are you going to some seminars? Are you speaking on stage? Are you trying to interact with more people so that, you get rid of your shyness? What are you doing to overcome it? Because see, admit it, all of us are going to have weaknesses. But are we doing something about it? That is what matters the most. So that is very important. Time management is a problem. So probably you could say that, I have started making a schedule for myself every day. I make my timetable for the entire day as to what am I going to do when. So this has really helped me improve my time management skills. All these things. Somebody can say, okay, I'm emotional, or I get attached to people very easily. So probably you can say that, I'm trying to use more of my logical mind, more of my logical skills. And I do meditate and even do yoga for, getting less attached and understanding things in a much more logical manner. Because when you meditate, it really enhances your logical skills. Okay, so this is how I'm trying to reduce my emotional behavior in front of people and all of that. So you can always talk about your weakness and what are you doing to overcome that. That is extremely important. Now, next is what are the challenges you have faced? And please don't say you have not faced any challenge. I have had the worst of the interviewees saying, no, we have not had any challenge in our life. It is not possible. You would have faced some challenge in your school, in your college, in your job, in your careers, of course. And I'm talking about a professional challenge, not a personal challenge, okay? I don't want to know your love story. How did things fall apart? How did you break up? I am not interested. What I'm interested in, when you faced a crisis situation in your company, how did you deal with it? How did you tackle that? What was your role in that challenge? That is what will benefit me, because I will understand that how are your problem solving skills? Are you good at problem solving or not? Okay, how did you, interpret the challenge? So for example, I'll give you an example also. Let's say, suppose if I say, due to some medical emergency, one of my sales team member couldn't meet his target. So what did I do was, I explained the situation to my other sales team members, and I requested them if we could increase their sales targets so that our overall sales target could be met, because this one fellow was not available. So they all understood the situation. They all accepted to increase the target. They took it on themselves and they reached the targets. And we were the first team in the company to reach our targets, our specified targets. So this is how you can talk about it. What was your intent? What was the context? How did you solve the problem? Okay? It should be brief. It shouldn't be very long. I don't want to hear the entire paragraph ki kya kya kiya tha. All I want to know is what was the problem? How did you tackle it? How did you manage? Okay, and what is the result? What is the outcome of it? So that is how you can be precise and talk about the challenges which you have faced. Okay, so these are some of the behavioral questions which will be asked in most of your interviews. And if you plan it very well, trust me, your chances of cracking the interview increases 2 times to 3 times. Okay, if you're prepared very well for these answers. Moving on. Okay, next. Yes, often you will see this question being asked from the employer. Do you have any questions for us? Please make sure you ask questions. People don't ask, they're like, no, okay, thank you, chalo, bye-bye, tata, ho gaya. Nahi. You need to ask some question, right? I mean, let's say, of course, you want to get a job in the company. So you would have read about the company. So there might be something which you might be curious about. You know, so probably you can talk about, I have heard that you guys are starting a new department. This. So could you just brief me about the details of this department? Because I'm, or probably how does a day, in the life of an employee looks like in your company? Or what are the extra courses which you guys provide if somebody is into marketing or somebody is into sales or somebody is into operations? Or what is the growth path in your company? What are the career opportunities in your company? How does an employee grow in the company? You can talk about all these things, right? So that shows that you are pretty much interested and you have researched about the company. If you talk about, I've heard that you're starting with this new plan, you're starting with this new project. So they know, okay, this person really knows the company well. You studied the company and you're really curious about joining the company and you're really curious to know things. Okay, so make sure, all of you, please ask some questions and ask some sensible questions. If there is nothing to ask, if you don't feel anything, there's any doubt, you can always talk about how will your career growth be in the company. That's a very, very smart question to ask, so that also gives you an idea whether the company is fit for you or no. Okay, probably if you feel the company is not the right fit, you might take some other choice, right? So make sure you ask these kind of questions. Next. Okay, in the meanwhile, anybody, any doubt, please ask. Okay. Feel free to type your question in the chat box and I'll try to answer your questions. Okay, after this is the mistakes you need to avoid in an interview. What are the mistakes? These are very tiny things, okay? These are very small things we would feel, it doesn't matter. Trust me, every non-verbal thing matters a lot. It matters a lot in the interview. Okay, now first is not greeting the interviewer. You're going for an interview. This person is going to hire you. You don't even say like a good morning or a good afternoon. You don't even say a hello. You just go and sit. This is the worst you can do. So make sure whenever you go, you greet the interviewer. That's very important. Say good morning or good afternoon, irrespective of whether you might have not said good morning to anyone in your life, doesn't matter, but make sure in an interview you do that. It's very important. Okay? Also, if let's say the interviewer is very close to you, as in you have a table, which is a small table, you can even shake hands with the interviewer. Okay, but if it's a long table, if there is a long gap between you and the interviewer, don't shake hands, otherwise you will have to slouch and it will become a very uncomfortable situation. Okay, so if the person is close enough, shake hands with the person, otherwise you can just greet by nodding your head with a good afternoon, good morning, whatever. Second is sitting without permission. Okay, so I've seen a lot of people, they just come and sit. Okay, like they'll just say a good morning or good afternoon, they'll just sit. Before you sit, please ask the interviewer, sir, may I have the permission to sit? Of course, the person is not going to say no, but then you need to take a permission before you sit, right? The next important thing is the eye contact. See, understand, let's say if you have 2 to 3 interviewers taking your interview, or let's say 3 to 4 people in your interview session, the person who has asked you the question, please make an eye contact with them. Don't see, I have seen a lot of people looking at everybody while answering, which is not wrong. But if I have asked you the question and you keep on looking at other people, you're not even looking at me while answering the question, it gives an image that you are not very confident. You are very low at your confidence level. So make sure if I have asked you the question, you look at me, you make an eye contact with me, and then you answer. Okay? Next is bluffing. Please don't bluff in an interview. It's a big no-no. If you don't know something, please just say, I'm sorry, sir, I'm not aware of this. I'll definitely read about this, or I'll definitely research about this. It is okay to say, I don't know, because if you start bluffing, the interviewer understands कि अच्छा ये bluff कर रहा है, then they'll keep on asking you questions on that until and unless you fall in a trap. Okay? It's very easy for the interviewer to make you fall in a trap. So make sure if you're not sure about things, don't bluff. Okay. Next thing is your nervousness. Also, I have seen a lot of people who do a lot of jittery movements, hand gestures, leg gestures, who keep on moving their leg, their hand, or who keep on doing something with their pen or whatever they have in their hand. Don't do that. That shows that you're pretty underconfident. Keep a check of your posture. Be confident. I understand that you will be nervous, but hand movements, leg movements, that really shows that you are extremely nervous. You're not confident about whatever you are saying in the interview. Okay, so keep a check of your posture, feel confident and feel comfortable. Sit in a comfortable position so that you will not have a problem. And the last is not asking questions. Like I told you earlier as well, not asking questions is a big no-no. Make sure you ask the right kind of questions so that it shows that you are curious about the company. Okay? Sure. Moving on. Achha, any doubts, any questions you would like to ask? Guys, please feel free to ask. Some mind-blowing statistics which many of you, I'm sure, would not be aware of. Some really mind-blowing facts. Please take a note of this, guys. Please take a note of this. 47% of the recruiters said they would reject a candidate who had little knowledge about the company where they are applying. So in the bracket, I have put forth the reports from where I've taken these results. Okay, so these are all researches. So imagine if you have not researched about the company, or if you don't know a lot about the company, 40% of the recruiters will not recruit you. No matter how good you might be in your technical skills, but you will still be rejected. So that is the reason researching about the company, college, whatever is extremely crucial. Okay. Next is you only have 7 seconds to make a strong first impression, and make sure the first impression is a good impression. So when you go for the interview, you have to greet the employer. You have to shake hands if it is possible. Please go in with a smile. Feel confident, because the other person also feels, okay, this guy might know his thing. He knows what he's doing. He knows why he's come for an interview. He's confident. That shows that you're a confident person. So your chances of getting recruited definitely increases. So please understand, you need to create the best impression as the first impression. Next is 71% of the employers won't hire someone who doesn't follow an appropriate dress code. You have to be formal. You have to look your best. You have to look sharp. I understand a lot of people feel your attire, your posture doesn't matter these days. But when you're going for an interview, trust me, it creates your first impression, guys. So it matters a lot. I'm meeting you for the first time. And if you're not well dressed, if you're not formal, of course, I might not have a good image about you. Okay, so that creates a lot of doubts in my mind. This person is already this way right now. So later on, to kya karega? Okay, so 71% will not recruit if you are not in your appropriate dress code. So please make sure you dress well, you look good, because when you look good, when you look sharp, that definitely builds your self-confidence. It definitely brings you a notch higher. Okay. And 67% of the recruiters feel that eye contact is crucial to making the good impression. Okay. When you are greeting the employer, look them in the eyes. Don't look down. Don't look here and there. Chalo mil liya, ho gaya. No, look them in the eyes. Feel confident. Okay. So that these are some small things which really help you crack the interview. These are some non-verbal cues which gives the other person an idea whether this person is good for the profile or not. Okay. Further. Tips for a good PI. Some of the tips for a good PI are research about the company well. I have emphasized about this quite a bit. Next is align your goals or values with that of the company. You need, see, when I need to figure out whether you are right fit for my company. So if you say, let's say you're a team player, you know, or you have great communication skills, and the values of the company demand a person who's a team player, who has great communication skills, who can interact with the team very well. You are aligning your goals or values with the company, so you are higher, you get, even you might not be good with technical skills that much, but because your skill, I mean, your values are aligned with the company, you still have great chances of getting into the company. Okay, you can always be trained for your technical stuff, but you cannot be trained for your values or your goals, right? So that is the reason, align your goals with that of the company. Practice the commonly asked questions. Please design your answers. I have emphasized this to my students quite a bit, that whatever questions we have discussed right now, make your own answers, formulate your own answers, and keep on working on those answers every time. You will feel a lot more confident, a lot more clearer in your approach, and even you will understand whether you are a good fit for the company, whether the company is a good fit for you or no. Okay, and the next thing is dress well, feel confident. Right now, yes, pre-interview jitters is a very common thing which happens to most of us. Your nervousness, your anxiety, it is normal. But remember, understand one thing, this happens to everybody. We are not, you are not special, or you are not the only one who is going through all these things. It's okay. So you can keep it in check. Do some deep breathing. You can please stay hydrated before you go for the interview. Otherwise, I've seen people who keep on asking for water quite a few times. That looks pretty unprofessional also. So be hydrated, breathe well, be relaxed, keep your mind calm, and go for the interview. See, understand, you just have to give it your best and be calm about it. This is not the last company in your life. Remember that as well. You have a lot of opportunities, right? So take this as one such opportunity, be calm and just go for it and give it your best. If you don't know certain things, just say, I'm sorry, sir, I don't know about it. Please don't bluff about things. Okay? Okay. One very important highlight is, just remember one thing, interviewer bhi kabhi interviewee tha. Now, the person who is sitting at the other end was also the person who was sitting at your end earlier. He also understands. He's also human. He also understands people go through all these things. So take the other person as a human being. Don't take the other person as some god or some really big shot personality. And how do I answer? I don't know. Will I be able to answer anything? Kuch hoga, nahi hoga? Nothing. Be yourself. Be confident about your skills, your talent. That's it. Okay? So keep these things in mind. It's extremely important. And also, if you want to connect with me, guys, I have a YouTube channel, which is Sarika Tulsiani. You can connect with me on my LinkedIn as well as on my Instagram for any queries. And right now, guys, I'm open to questions. Please feel free to ask your questions and let me help you out as much as possible. So you can start asking your questions, all of you. Yes, guys. I'm open for questions. You can let me know whatever you want to ask. I hope I have not bored you with this session. I hope you have gained some information, some knowledge, and you'll be utilizing that, right? So please let me know if there's anything you guys would like to ask. Feel free to ask. Devika, Dr. Naresh, Guru, Priyanka, Sindhu, Swati, Vaibhav. Guru, thank you so much. And yes, Priyanka, thank you so much. But guys, I would want you to ask me questions. If there is any personal, something related to you, like, this is the situation I have faced. How do I answer? Vaibhav, thank you so much. But then please ask me questions. Yeah, is there any particular company you are aiming for, or is there any particular type of question wherein you struggle? What are the issues you tackle? Please ask me on that. Because see, you need to understand the approach of the interviewer also. Ki what is the interviewer thinking when he is trying to recruit you? The best way is, put yourself in the other person's shoes and try to ask yourself, will I recruit myself with the kind of answers I have given, with the kind of personality I have displayed? Will I recruit myself? Yes or no? And then that gives you a great understanding about yourself. Wherein, what are the factors where you need to work at? What are your real strengths? What are your real weaknesses? Yes. Questions, please. Guys. Currently, I am employed in a company with low package compared to my old package. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Guru, have you taken the job? You are already working in the company, right? Are you about to start working? Acha. So because you've already joined, you've started working. It's very difficult, of course. But then probably, let's say, in this case, in a span of the first 6 months, let's say you're done with the first 6 months with the company, you can always go to your manager, to your HR, have a word with them. Ma'am, this is what I used to get paid earlier. This was my earlier offer. I understand that because of some medical emergencies and stuff, I couldn't work for the 9 months, but I have been associated with your company since past 6 months. And I feel that based on my performance and my feedback, I would want you to give me an increment of this percent. Okay, because earlier it was a higher package, so I would want to get an increment to up to this pay. Okay, so you can always negotiate in a polite manner and make sure you do that, guys. I have seen people, I mean, especially Indians, who are not very confident about negotiating their salary. Why not? You are going to work for the company. You're going to be associated with the company. You're going to invest your time in the company. So your salary is your right? So please don't be shy. See, imagine the worst situation. What will be the worst situation? The other person can say probably, no, that we are sorry, Guru, that we will not be able to offer you an increment right now, but definitely after some time we'll do that, or something like that. But at least you've put forth your point. So the other person will keep in mind, okay, this person is thinking about growth, he's thinking about an increment, and they have it in mind. So probably when they give you a growth, they will offer things you accordingly. And if not, then you can be open to other job opportunities as well. Right? So you have to put this in the mind of the other person ki I am looking for growth and I was getting paid this much earlier. So I'm expecting, or I would want an increment of this thing. It is your right, all of you. So please ask for an increment. Don't be shy. Don't be hesitant. Most of us don't even talk about it. And why not? You have to make your own living also, right? So please talk about it. Don't be shy. It is okay. It's your right. Yeah. What else? What else? Yes. Anything else? Dr. Naresh, Devika, Krishnamohan, Sindhu, Sushmita, Yashwin. What else? Anything with respect to a PI, with respect to anything? Your personality, or how should you go for an interview? Anything. What else? Yeah, nothing else? Are you so sure about your interviews now? Will you crack the interview? Will you give it your best? Yeah, I hope you are pretty much confident and you would have, please incorporate some skills from today's session and utilize this in the further interviews which you're going to give. Because it is extremely crucial, because if you understand this, then only you will be able to incorporate this, then the session is worth it. If you don't incorporate these skills, then there was no point of the session, right? Okay, so make sure you do have your learnings. Start writing your answers, start developing your answers for each of these questions, and then keep on modifying them and be confident about you, right? Yes, that's great. So proud of you, Guru. Give it your utmost best. Great, great, beautiful. Others, what else? No questions? Please feel free to ask me anything. See, interviews are just meant to understand you better, to know you as a person, to know you beyond your CV. Okay, your CV highlights your skills. It highlights your achievements. We understand that. But how are you as a person beyond your achievements? Are you somebody who is competitive? Are you somebody with whom we would like to be associated with? Or are you a stubborn personality with whom we might not be interested in associating? We are trying to know you better. Okay. Also, yes, this reminded me, guys, there is one more question which they generally ask you is, how are you better than other employees? I mean, how are you better than other candidates? Right? So in this case, probably what you can do is, you can just say that, I'm sure other candidates also have good skills and qualities for sure, but I have these skills, and based on this, I can help the company grow in this manner. So you will customize your answer. Okay, these are my skills, these are my qualities, and how can I help your company grow accordingly? Right? And that the first line should be, I'm sure there'll be other candidates with really good qualities and skills as well. So that shows you are not demeaning other people. Baki log to aise hi hai, I am the best. No, you are grounded as a person. You are pretty much, like on point, and you are genuine. You are not very egoistic, and you might be a comfortable person to work with. You understand that other people will also have good qualities, but what is your USP? You highlight that. So that is how you answer that question as well. Right? Yes. What else? Yeah, I have a question. Either physical or virtual, which mode will be more effective? If I can see, Guru, I would always recommend, if it's physical or virtual, if you have an option, please go for the physical interview. Please go for the physical interview. The other person gets to know you really well. Your attire, your, the way you sit, the way you talk, how are you as a person? It gives much more clarity than in a virtual format. If it's possible, please go for a physical interview. And you can build like a one-to-one connection also with the interviewer. So yes. Guys, what else? What else? Okay. Anything else, people? Nothing else? No doubts? Is this it? All right then. So just a second. So Karthik, probably I feel that you can take it ahead from here. I think this is it for the session. I've answered the queries. People, if you still want to connect with me, you can connect with me on any of these 3 modes, and hope to see you soon, hope to help you out. And I really hope that you do very well in your careers, crack the interviews, and just, get your dream jobs. Thank you so much, guys. Karthik, Yuvraj, you can take it ahead from here.
Thank you, ma'am, for the wonderful session. As
Most
we come to the end of our events, I would like to take a moment to express my gratitude to all of you for joining us today. I would like to start by thanking our distinguished expert, Ms. Sarika Tulsiani, for taking the time to share her expertise and insights with us. The presentation was engaging, informative, and thought-provoking, and we all learned a great deal from your experience and knowledge. I would also like to thank all the participants who attended our event today. The active participation and engagement throughout the sessions made the event more enjoyable and valuable. Your questions, comments, and insights have added depth and breadth to the discussions and have helped us all to learn and grow. Before we wind up, I would like to announce our upcoming events. So just give me some time. I'll show you the PPT of that. Hope it's visible to all of you. So IFERP, Institute for Engineering Research and Publication. About IFERP, global community building, multidisciplinary collaboration, research publication, funding and resources, developing initiatives for innovation, upskilling, capacity building, IFERP mission, and IFERP vision. What we do. Why IFERP? IFERP achievements. We have 1 lakh plus members, 150 plus countries existence across the world, 52,745 plus delegates attendance in IFERP events, 407 plus international conferences, 420 plus collaborations and MOUs signed, 28,673 plus scientific presentations, 12,421 plus Web of Science publications, 48,593 plus publications, 352 plus virtual events, and 26,783 plus Scopus publications. Student career assistance.
Yeah, good afternoon, Dr. Geta. Yes.
Faculty of types of IFERP membership. IFERP student. Benefits of collaboration, partnership. Trusted clients. IFERP is organizing a 6th International Conference on Multidisciplinary Research Studies and Education on 19th and 20th of May 2023, Malaysia. IFERP is organizing International Conference on Advances in Computer Engineering, Communication Systems and Business Development on 26th and 27th of May 2023, Chennai. And this is our new launch, IFERP Academy. It's all about advanced data analytics. The session holds of 45 hours. You can go through the website for more details. Finally, we would love to hear your feedback. Your input is valuable to us and it will help us to improve future webinars. We will be distributing feedback forms to your email, so please take a few moments to fill them out and your certification of participation will be distributed to your membership dashboard. Kindly log into your account and download the certificate by yourself. And I really thank you all for the wonderful session. Thank you, ma'am, and thank you, participants.